Hey everybody, if you're watching this video, it's because you've stumbled across the first video on a new channel that I have created. I do have another channel, but it's more like just personal stuff. This one I'm gonna add a bunch of videos to, not for a job, not because I'm trying to be a YouTuber, because I'm trying to document kind of what I'm doing in my life. Kind of in an odd situation where I'm gonna be 55 years old in a couple of months, and I've decided to basically change my life and start over. Now that's with my family. I'm not doing this on my own. So my wife, my kids, and even my parents are kind of tired of this area. I've lived here pretty much my whole life. I started the 3rd grade here when we just moved here. It was a small town, and it was a great place to live, a great place to raise my family. But now it's too big for us. We have been fortunate enough to where we had a business that grew with our surroundings. But we were doing fine way before way before this thing's out of hand, in my opinion. So I'm in my truck. I've gone, I'm four miles away from my house. So basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna explain why I am leaving and doing what I'm doing. We're riding around in my old Suburban. Oh, there's the first one right there. This is what I wanted to start with. So this is a horse farm. This horse farm is now empty, and it's obvious to me that a developer bought this property, because this right here, brand new community. Right next to it, there's another one that's same part of this, but a lot of these properties are being bought up by, well, all of them. All these properties being bought up by developers and developed, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. That's progress in most people's eyes. Won't be able to see it, but there's construction equipment down the street there. Now keep in mind that I'm not going to go drive around town. I've decided to go about as far away as I travel for work. So I worked about 4 miles away from our house. I worked at the same job, that a place that we owned, for over 20 years. So before that, I worked for a big company here locally that I worked at for 10 years. So for the past over 30 years, I've had 2 jobs. And so now I closed my business. I went to work for one of my competitors as a consultant for 8 weeks. That was 4 weeks ago. So in 4 weeks, we're leaving town. We're starting over. We have no house, no jobs. We leased a house where we're moving to. And I mean, it's pretty easy to tell from the video. I'm actually in Florida. We're moving to Tennessee. We started going to Tennessee in 2005. And we were going there to race. We've done a lot of drag racing in our past. Kind of thought I would do that the rest of my life, but I don't know. It's definitely gonna slow down. So look, there's another one. These are brand new townhomes, whatever. Right here, they bought that property just to use for retention. There's a pond there. Look, there's another one. This neighborhood here, it's been there for a while. You can see there's tons of tons of stuff being constructed here. So I've sold some of, we have sold some of our assets just to get some money because we knew we weren't going to have jobs. I'm very fortunate. Grew a great business, and I've had a great life. But it's just one of those things. I'm going to change. I'm sick of the fact that we can't get employees. I'm sick of the fact that the government, whatever, that's a whole nother deal. But yeah, I'm thoroughly frustrated by that. That's a brand new neighborhood right there. That thing, it's probably not even full yet, but they've been building houses in there for probably I'll call it a year and a half. They've been developing that property. And actually, these properties right here, this subdivision, we actually used to live in this subdivision. Now this road, this used to be basically like, this was a cow path. There was nothing here. And I remember that. So there's my old neighborhood right there. All this stuff here has been here for a long time. These houses, this stuff, I mean, it hadn't been here for 20 years, but they didn't just build it last year. So this stuff has been being developed. Anyway, to move on, we bought some property in Tennessee. This property is raw. There's no electric, no water, no sewer. There is nothing on this property. So what we did was we bought this piece of property and we started working up there. We would go up there. We had plenty of freedom from our job. So we would go to our property once every month or two, and we were working on the property. Now, what we were doing was we were renting equipment, and we were just piddling around with trying to build a driveway, and we ran into a lot of pitfalls. So that it's going to be interesting. Just through our environment here, the cost to do business, the fear of the economy, because if the economy does, I mean, if it hiccups, it's hard to stay in business. In 2008, we lost one business and saved the business we just closed. And nowadays it costs me 50% more to do the same business we did in 2008, and we almost didn't make it. We had to sell our house, moved in with my mother-in-law to save our business. And it was a good move. I mean, we did the right thing. Because we just couldn't make any money. I didn't get a paycheck for like a year. They would trickle in. I'd get one every once in a while. So based on these factors, we were having a tough time at work with just business in general. Like I said, employees and stuff. So, here we are. We decide, you know what? At the end of the year, 2022, after a few terrible years of just the COVID crap and whatever, you name it, we decided, you know what? Our plan to develop this property for the next 5 years and retire and move there we weren't going to be happy with that. And let me tell you my reasoning. We had some assets that, obviously, if you cash out of your asset, the more it's worth, the more money you put in your pocket. We felt like the longer we held on to these assets, the less they were going to be worth. And if let's say the economy keeps moving along for another year or two or whatever, and then we have an issue with the economy, and then the cost of everything tanks, whether it's a car, a motorhome, whatever you have as an asset, a boat. We felt like at some point, some of these things, if they're not paid off, you might end up owing more than what you can sell it for. So we decided to just cash out. We're going to sell our stuff, and we're moving now. So this is this is a brand new road that is going to, I'm assuming it's probably a good, maybe 10 miles from where this road picks up, 8 miles to the interstate. And they're basically connecting this road to the interstate. And all along this road, they're developing. You can see this is a brand new road. They're still doing construction. This whole thing, all of these properties here, these properties are all going to be bought up by the developers, just like all the other ones around here. And they're going to put neighborhoods in. And one of the problems here is I have about a 3-mile commute to work. And at 6:30 in the morning, it takes between 15 and 20 minutes. 20 minutes to go 3 miles at 6:30 in the morning. I mean, there's something wrong with that. Well, I'll tell you what's wrong with it. The fact that they are building all these houses, and there's not enough infrastructure to support them. What they're building they're building plenty of restaurants, right? There's nothing to do around here except a house, a job, and someplace to eat. So that's not any fun. Can't ride dirt bikes around here anymore. Don't own a side-by-side around here because you got to travel 2 hours away to be able to ride it at River Ranch or whatever. So the bottom line is, let me go back. I'm jumping back and forth because I'm trying to show one of the reasons why we're moving is because all this stinking construction and the people that are moving here. And another thing, I'm trying to explain exactly what we're doing when we leave here. So I know I'm jumping around, but please bear with me. We purchased a little cabin to put on the property, basically at this point just for storage. So we keep chainsaws and chain and some rubber boots for tromping around in the mud and stuff like this. So we also, we made the decision that, hey, we're renting equipment, and some of this equipment's expensive to rent. It would cost us about $3,000 a month to rent one piece of equipment. So we decided, hey, we're going to buy some of this equipment. And let me tell you, I really don't know anything about equipment except for the fact now it's expensive. Like, even older, a 10 or 15-year-old or 20-something-year-old, anything is very expensive, whether it be a skid steer, an excavator, a bulldozer, all the things you would need to actually develop a piece of property. So we're in the process of purchasing some equipment, and I'm going to make a U-turn here because I'm going to show you guys something. I'm back within about a mile from my house. 1 mile from my house. There's a lot of commercial around here. A lot of commercial stuff going on around here. But this right here is across one main road from my neighborhood. And I can't remember, like, I'll look at the sign when we go up here, but it's like tens of thousands of square feet of commercial space. And listen, I got no problem with commercial space. I love commercial space. I occupy commercial space. And I love, nothing makes a community stronger than having good jobs. And you can't have good jobs without this kind of thing. So that's great, except for one thing. All right, so there's 188,000 square feet of warehouse available Q2 of 2023, and I'm pretty sure you guys can figure out by the date this goes on YouTube when that's going to be. That's right around the corner. So, yeah, 200,000 square feet. Also, there's some vacant land right there. It won't be vacant for long. There's some land that was vacant. Not anymore. So they're building townhomes there. So I think to kind of sum this up, we're leaving because it takes me 20 minutes to go 3 miles. There's too many people, not enough roads. We're not spread out enough anymore. It's aggravating to me, us. I mean, other people, they're moving here like so fast, it's nuts. And if they want to be here, then by all means. So there's the new neighborhood. Here's where I live. This is my neighborhood. And this is a great place. It's a good place to raise kids. This town has the same problems every other town has. No one's immune to anything, right? The problems everywhere. The little miniature town that we're moving to, that there's no one around, they have their own set of problems. It seems to be more problems with, I don't even know. It's just, I'm sick of the county commission around here. They approve every single project. Nothing gets denied. There's too many good old boys on this in the system that allow this stuff no matter what. Everything that, listen, when they were building stuff 15 years ago and they had proposed wetlands and they would build places around the wetlands, now magically they're building in the wetlands. That they said, oh, no, you can't build there, 15, 20 years ago. No, absolutely not. We need to preserve the wetlands. Well, shit, now they're putting condos in there. So, whatever. Anyway, what I'm going to do is, from this point forward, we are moving to Tennessee in 4 weeks. And I am going to document this. And I'm going to document our journey to take a raw piece of land and live there. And we are doing, I would imagine, 90+% of the work on this property we're doing ourselves. When I say ourselves, the family, right? My wife, my daughters, my son-in-law. It's going to be tough. It's going to be a lot of work, but we can't wait because we can't stand what goes on here. And I hope that maybe even a few of you follow along and learn from my mistakes, because that's what's going to happen here. I'm not a carpenter. Never have been. I'm not a plumber. I'm not an electrician. I don't know nothing about septic tanks. I don't know how to move water from the street to the whatever, but I'm going to do it. We're going to do this together, and it's going to be amazing, and it's going to be fun. So this is the start of it.